Then, you want to hook your reader on paragraph 1. Then, you want to hook your reader the first sentence. And you have the power to do it. For that, oftentimes, I tell folks, you do not have to start a story in a linear fashion. You don't have to write your story in a linear fashion. Films aren't filmed in linear fashion. You can start out with a pivotal moment in that character's life and then work your way back around. Grab Me Now. You remember the little girl, I didn't bring it, Mahala, who was shot in the head? Remember that? Her story, when she wrote the novel, and I know she had help, wrote the novel, she started it with the shot. The day that she got shot in the head. And then she went around to her life. Leading up to that point, we learned stuff about culture and a place, you know, I had never been and probably may never go to, and things like that, but started it there, and then worked herself around. Hook me first. I'm going to give you the story outline, a 5-point story outline. And it's the same in the Three Little Pigs. We were talking about Cinderella the other day. It's the same in $1 Million Baby or Rope Burns. It's the same with Girl on the Train. It's the same everywhere. 5, the story outline. Number 1, a character with a problem. Number 1 is a character with a problem. Number 2, complications. Number 3, crises that reach a climax, or a crisis that reaches a climax. That's number 3. And a bit about number 3. Number 3 in film is automatically 3/4 into the film. I can sit in any movie and know when I'm 3/4 in, because the other word for it is the big setback. Because it takes that time for me to care about the character or the issue and root for it, and then all hope is lost. Now I care. Now you just gotta win. And a character can be a person or it could be an issue. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4 is resolution of the problem. That does not mean that the prince and the princess rides off on a white horse and but put a bow around it. Put a bow around it. Something I can take, even if you're thinking about a sequel. Do not dissatisfy me. You do not want to dissatisfy the reader. That's lethal. Put a bow around it. And number 5 is character learns something about self or life. Character learns something about self or life. And why I said character, I did not say reader, I did not say the person in the audience, I said the character. If you're trying to tell your reader something or the audience something, then you're preaching. I go to preaching on the Sabbath. I go for preaching then. I want all the preaching in the world on the Sabbath. But I don't want it in my film and I don't want it in my book. So the character learns something about self. And how that happens is your characters have emotional growth. Do not apologize for your villains, for your protagonists. Don't apologize for them. Let them do what they do. And the story will wash out. If somehow they change, that's the definition of emotional growth. Yes.
Is there
That's all right.
What do you mean by put a bow on it?
Oh, I mean, kind of put an end to the story, satisfy something in that story where I can close it. I may say, oh, I wonder what happens next, but I won't be mad. I won't be mad. So kind of settle a couple of things. I think for me, in my first Forgotten Wingtip shoot, the main character is buttercream beautiful with green apple eyes. He's every woman's midnight dream, and the state of Maryland has indicted him for fraud and embezzlement. Okay, and it comes from a true story. And if you get a little Kool-Aid in me, I may tell you, but I don't readily tell you who it is. But the thing is, at the end of the story, I just had him. He showed emotional growth, where by the end of the story, he was accepting responsibility for some of the things that happened. And there was a trial about to begin. But he was going at that, facing that trial with new eyes, a new set of eyes. But I stopped it there. And there was some little argument going on between my editor and I. And so because I have a sequel in mind. But I had him get a little bit better. Not all the way better, but a little bit better. So that's what I mean by that. Okay. All right. So you have your protagonist, your hero can be an issue again, or it could be a character that I told you about. You decide the point of view you would like to write in, and sometimes it changes up. Each paragraph has a job to do. It's not there just because it's pretty. It's there because it's moving the story along. If you write something and there's a paragraph, I don't care how beautiful it is, but it's not connecting to the paragraph underneath it, then it does not need to be there. When you're doing your rereading, your draft, there's a word for draft, but I had to get to know you first before I tell you that beautifully. Some of you know what it is. But did anybody bring their writing? Yeah? Okay, come on now, let's see. Would you like to read a little bit, like 2 paragraphs?